Hello. Now, off camera, we had a cavalcade of disaster, near disaster, which started when I was looking for this picking up for this recording session. I had forgotten that I'd moved to the Steam version of OpenTTD, and so therefore couldn't find my save files. I was like, have I lost everything since 1974? The entire world lost everything since 1974. But no, we found the save files. It was all good. And then I went problem solving and then realized that what I've done is released a huge number of changes to my network without refitting them. And I thought, while we dabble in disaster here, that's timely, isn't it? While we dabble in disaster, both simulated and real, that seemed just a little too tedious to correct. It would have involved sending about 100 trains to depots and slowly refitting them. So no, we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is just go back to what we were doing. No, they're not my vehicles. I don't have to care. So in that award episode, what I was saying, Passengers is sort of getting back to a place. Maybe not as good as it could be, but it's getting back to a place. So I'm going to click these. I'm going to hold Control when I turn these off. So that works for multi-select when you're turning things off as well. Because I want to see what's interesting with cargo that's other than the what we'll call it, passengers. That's what the self-loading cargo is called. So yes, so we want to improve some of this. So vehicle parts, we could definitely be moving a lot more vehicle parts than we are. So let's find the vehicle part trains, and I'm just going to do that by going to the Kensal Green unload. No, load. There we go. In fact, this is one of those just passing us by there. So we're going to clone a few of those, try to get some more vehicle parts. Ooh, vehicle not available. Ah, yes. And you'd think I should know this because I've actually had to deal with this problem already. But no. No, my memory's not that good. That happened half an hour ago. That's lost to history now. So we want to replace the westerns with... Let's replace them with grids. Let's just do that. So I start replacing those. I should probably... Now, one of them just popped in here, didn't it? Now it's lost to the whole society. So let's try to send a few of these to a depot and try to find one that will actually go to a depot. In the hope that one of them will actually find a depot. Do I want to send all of them for servicing? Let's send all of them for servicing. That will just cause welcome amount of chaos. Then we can clone one, hopefully. One deigns to convert into a grid. Okay, well let's leave that there while that happens, while I get ready to clone that. And let's go look at the next thing. So it really is this from Michelle's jar. So CS, which I think is there we go. That has cloned itself. So let's go, and when that works, hooray! We have a grid that we can clone. So I want to clone quite a few of these because I think vehicle parts really is quite low rating. We still have a lot of vehicle parts, so I think we'll end up with a lot more of these. But let's now have a look down here. So we have our sterling carbon steel. So carbon steel is, I think, going to be a relatively easy one. So we can just clone that a couple of times, maybe once more for luck. And I think these all have overflows, so at worst they're going to end up just in the depot. So there we go. That's what can roll out there. Now, do I want a Beechcraft? No, I don't. No, we're not doing aircraft for the moment. So the next thing looks like Wilmslow powertrain. So we should fix that as well. So let's just pop that back, and then let's see what we've got. So I think maybe a class 3 and 3 because there's dual voltage. This runs on the third rail. So there we go. That's now replaced. That's not going to bother us. So this doesn't have that many vehicle engines waiting, but it does have a very low rating, which means that only 12% of what's being produced at the factory is actually being passed to us. So we should have more. We should increase the number of things. Oh, that was, which is the loading station. That's engines, good. So engines, these are Falcons. Oh, that's that's going to be fun. So we know we're not going to be able to clone those very effectively. They could try. We give it a try. I don't think they're available in the 80s. No. So we need to replace those. So let's go back to engines. And let's do some replacing. So the Falcons is quite powerful and quite fast. I'm not sure we need that powerful or that fast. So maybe some more grids. They're only going 60, so they're not really needing that much. So that's interesting. Yes, the salmon's there. It should be fine. So the salmon is, let's have a look, see. There's nothing faster, is there? No. The BDA bolsters would be a little bit faster, but no, not really worth the upgrade there. These can just trundle along at 60, so no, same sort of problem is that none of them have decided to service, so we send those for servicing. And while there we go. So yes, anyway, so I've been, that's hopefully being less of a disaster. Don't think I've unleashed any vehicles with the wrong refit on the network yet, so that's going well. But although none of the cargoes have yet hit the problem of refitting, so anyway, let's build a few more. Okay, we have an overflow depot, so maybe later we can go to the overflow depot and we can find out what's happening with that. But for now, it's better to have too many trains than not enough. So the next one is the Bryan Works. So the Bryan Works, we have acid. We need lots of acid. So the acid pickup is here. I think this was where we ran into problems last time, which is that we can't clone it. We cannot clone this. So I'm just going to try to clone this now. Vehicle is not available. Now, there's a thing here, which is that the gurglers are available. The TTA tank wagons are available. The thing which is not available is actually the brake vans. So we stopped being able to make brake vans. Ooh, torpedo car. That's quite cool. Class 455? No. Enough bad memories of commuting on them. I'm not going to inflict them upon my world any more than is needed. So what I can do is take this acid train. Let's just get rid of that, and I might migrate it up to TEA wagons actually. So let's do that. Let's wait for that to do. Well, that would help if I did it in the correct depot, wouldn't it? So let's get rid of that. These up. So that's about the same length. What's the total of that? So that will carry 468,000 litres of whatever. 330, so it's quite a lot more capacity. Let's make sure I actually refit it to acid, that would help. And so now we've got the acid there. We should probably clone that as well. No, that one. There we go. And so there we go. So that should be good. Those are wandering off, collecting acid. Now, did we ever get to the point with the engines? Yes, we did get to replace those. Good. The Zeta's okay, no, not yet. So that's all going reasonably. And then we'll start picking up acid. So tyres. Tyres is the next one that we need to deal with. So with the tyre load, North Bristol waypoint, let's call that North Bristol tyre pickup. There we go. Pick up tyres. So let's have a look at the trains to go there. So that shouldn't be any problem to replace. Those are Hoovers, they're fairly recent, so we just need more of those. Let's just pick up a few, and I think tyres actually we needed a few, so another 5 trains that should do. It's so scientific. So vehicle bodies, what's going on here? Fearboards growed low. Fearboards grove load. So we just need lots more vehicle bodies there. And there we go. That should move those along. Maybe it's too many. Who knows? We'll find out. So that's going okay. So tyres we've just sorted. Vehicle bodies we just sorted. Vehicle parts we thought we had just sorted. Apparently we haven't. But is that going down? It's going down a little, isn't it? So the rating is going up. So we may need more. And I think we're actually at the point now where maybe capacity and throughput is an issue, as well as just the sort of raw having enough vehicles. Preserved narrow gauge stock is in the way. Let us come round here then. So there we go. So that should do okay. Signal that. There we go. So that now it gives us a set up there. And there we go. We can go back to this. Winslow Ironstone. Yes. So this has a very low amount of iron ore. Actually, the rating's quite good. It's interesting. I thought it was worse than that, but bones. Yes, that. So what I'm going to do is just consider this back. Then I'm going to do a little bit of playing around with the thing. So AA wagons I'm fine with. So let's get rid of that last wagon. Build no AA wagon. I will use the bone, but I won't mess too much with this. So I just clone that a couple of times. And we'll send those going. Now let's look at what else we have. So we're also looking for things that's got low ratings, because those mean that they're not being transported effectively. So rubber is not doing very well here. Rubber is doing terribly, 13% transported. So let's go and find where the rubber things happen. So let's to pick up. This is where we've got kind of just a multi-pickup, so we have to be a bit careful with these. So rubber sole. This is going to be one of those ones with. Let's see if I can send a couple of these to the depot. Be careful, because I'm going to make sure I actually use those grids as well. And they come. So these I just need to take a break fan off the end. So while that's doing, let's look what else we have that's going to be problematic. The rubber sole. Let's take that. So remove that off the end. So they're length 6. So we're going to do that. They're going to completely take those parts. So there, 5.7. That's fine. We get a bit more out of them. We had a bone. Who knows? Let's try. 5.7. No, we wouldn't. So let's make sure we refit this. So rubber, 624,000 litres. That's good. That's going to improve the rating a bit. Then the other one. So this one I'm just going to get rid of, and then just clone again. Maybe I lost some rubber along the way. Who knows? So those are all looking okay. Let's see where things are with this. So the tidal yard. The next problem seems to be aluminium, actually. So where does the aluminium come from? Where does it go to? Well, that's not good. That's another one of those classic. It's not quite a gridlock, actually. It's just a slow exit. Maybe we just have too many trains on the network now. Well, let's just see if there's any patterns we can take advantage of here. So this is going around here. Now, this is slow. This is just slow because there's not this is unsignaled. That would help a lot. There's ongoing disasters. Well, just everywhere. Right, that should improve throughput a lot. Although we still have that slow, but that's slow because you have vehicles waiting here for that to go there. That's not great, is it? Because this is a block signal, and that kind of overhangs slightly. And so what we need to do really is be able to move this along a little. And even so, that's not perfect, but because what we actually want really here is fewer signals. That's fine. You can, there we go. Let's leave that to sort itself out. So. Ooh, that's a nice tight bit of loading gauge abuse there. So still waiting for things to move, but stuff is starting to move. This flat junction's a bit inefficient, isn't it? Should we upset Leicester a little bit and improve it? So what will need to happen here, let's cause a little bit of chaos with this. So that now could split there. Let's split that there. In fact, that's the same splitting point, isn't it? So there, that. Come on, let me build. So that now can go there. Ooh, these are going well, aren't they? It's all happening. All happening here. So let's see about this. So if I can just get that to move a little bit of there, because the problem is trains keep piling up here, and then they block the tidal yard, and that slows down everything happening along here. They're all in the good days chaos. So that's waiting for that. That's sort of fine for that to wait for that. Just want to see if anything is going down here, because no, nothing comes from there and goes down there. This is just a little bit over capacity, but that's fine. It will work. Another disaster nearly over, though there's lots of things in depots. That's the problem. So I've cloned lots of trains and I've sent lots of trains to depots. So that's obviously going to be the case for a while. So right. So let's really go back and fix our display. So I want to see all. I want to see all. I don't want to see passengers and mail. So tires are still quite concerning. Tires just seem very much like they're not being picked up. So let's have a look at this. Make sure these are actually fitted for tires. Yes, yeah, 456 tons of tires. It should really be doing better than this, but there we go. So that's going to go. We'll just build a few more of those. Set those going. Yes, so that's good. I should have known this was going to be the day of moderate disaster from the moment I forgot that I was playing the Steam version, which had been out for quite a while. In fact, I just got my first auto update over Steam to sort of 1.11.1 or whatever the current version is. We have that here. Oh yes, 1.11.1. Perfect. So. Centenary Tram Sprinter? No, I don't. But yes, nice. Now we've vehicles as well. Need more vehicles. We should probably do something. Maybe not now because we're running some slow. Engineering supplies are starting to get up a bit now, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to do something good with engineering supplies. Let's firstly just put on a couple more vehicle trains. So there we go. They will go to the overflow if they can't pick up vehicles, so that there won't be too much of a problem. We've got better platforms for vehicles. And so, no, there is a cars. I think so. We could put some cars in there. There we go. But no, we don't seem to have all the cars are containerized. Well, never mind. So, yes, it's been nice. It has been nice. I think Steam has been we've seen because I did do a speculative welcome of Steam subscribers to the channel without knowing whether I would get in or not. But it turns out yes, people have stumbled across this little corner of the internet from Steam, which is nice. Nice to see. But there is a kind of situation which I probably should have foreseen, which everybody kind of comes via the tutorial that has driven quite a lot of sort of people coming in, and they watch the tutorial and they're like, oh yes, that's good. That's very helpful. Lots of useful tips in that, and of course they do what people do, which is smash that subscribe button or whatever else, and ring that bell, and what all those people tell you to do. And then there's kind of an issue because there's a bit of a disconnect, I think, between what's now waiting plastics. What carries plastics? There's a lot of stuff waiting on potash. Worrying. So plastics, are they? I don't know if carries plastics from here. So I don't even know what carries it. Not aircraft. Not ships. So there is oh yes, there is living in the plastic age, of course. So yes, and so we watch this show, they go, oh, it's pretty helpful, but of course then they watch the mainline series and they kind of like, well, I sort of I was okay with, and we have the same problem here. We want to strip these of their brake weapons. So what I might do is I might just clone, rather than clone these, I might do a new vehicle entirely. So let's do that. Let's use those bones that we picked up. Then, ooh, VGA van. Ah yes, perfect. 640 by 480 van. 256 colours. Absolutely exactly what we need. So that can go on the ungrouped train. That can go into living in the plastic age. Well, that's what is that? That's the Wakefield Airport shuttle. So I should probably put that. The Wakefield Aero shuttle. So yes, people have come in and they sort of thought, well, this is going to be much the same. Lots of helpful game tips and things, and then they sort of get a few episodes and find that that I'm being taught unwarranted, baseless, so-called facts about Brian May's chord-activated guitar solo playing and the relative complexity of Queen lyrics from the early 70s, and suddenly go, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted tips and sensible things, and sort of the feeling that the person telling me this kind of knew how to play the game. This sort of doesn't happen. And so let's send all these to the depot, and then let's just replace them. How many? Who knows? There we go. Oh, I've sent them entirely in the wrong direction. That's fine. They'll sort themselves out. We'll just create another minor disaster. So we had 5. Now got more than 5, 7. So these mail ones. These are transits. Now we would replace those, but what I want to do is I want to wait until we actually get the next generation transit before I replace the current generation transit. So we don't really have any vans at the moment, so let's wait for that to happen. The villains. What are the villains? These are low deckers. We probably could replace those. Yes, but this kind of thing. Oh, Leyland Olympians. Yes, we could use those. What's that? Oh, Bedford Val. Yes, that needs replacing, doesn't it? Volvo B10. Oh, there we go. That's basically going to be the coach of the future. I think so. We should do that. Yes, but anyway, we go, well, actually, I don't really want this sort of unsensible nonsense in my stream. So there's a few things here. Let's just do that. Let's get rid of these. So don't need so many protection. But I quite like this as an little ecological niche. You'll see this sometimes with my vehicle sets, that I don't want to create something just that already exists with absolutely no twist, no difference, no changes whatsoever. I like there to be a sort of unique reason for it, even if it's things like the 2x scale graphics, which then makes everybody go, oh no, I don't want to use that, I don't like 2x, I never even tried 2x, but I'm just going to decide I don't like it. Whatever, let's not have that discussion. I know there's all sorts of various things about whether you're driven mad by the difference between them, the sort of, the pixelated versus rendered graphics. But I like the fact that I'd rather have a little ecological niche, and one of the things I found was there's lots of very, very good, very sensible streams for OpenTTD. I very much recommend you watch them. You do a search and you will find some of the sort of main players and maybe some of the newer up and coming people, and they're very much worth watching. I do, watch a few of the sensible ones as well. And then there's this kind of sort of something which I'm not very keen on. This very loud, brash, constantly shouting, very permanently excited type of streamer, which is often like a lot more casually amusing. I'll grant it that, but just I find it very grating to listen to. Listen to someone shouting all the time. it wears down very, very quickly. But I thought there's nothing kind of in the middle on OpenTTD release. There's nothing sort of just casual whimsy. Occasionally we just drop into the randomness and disconnect, and things occasionally go wrong. So that's potash. That's good. And that's sort of why I created this. And that's why I kind of not too worried about people sort of going, oh no, I don't want that to be, because that's kind of, that's basically, that's what Timberwolf is just some casual, play some strategy games. Don't get overly excited apart from the occasional chuckle when a vehicle gets destroyed, and sort of meander in and out of half-remembered facts and theories, not all of which are correct. And that's I'm happy that it's a small niche, and it's a hyper-evolved niche. It's like a small creature which has a very long prehensile claw for removing bugs from only the black stripes of zebras, and it exists just because there's such a tiny niche that no one wants to compete with it. Nothing else is going to evolve in that way, but that's where I'd like to be. And in fact, that's what I thought when, I think that maybe one day we'll do more. Maybe one day we'll do more tutorials. We sort of get to another nice round 100 number of subscribers, or sort of a bigger number or something like that. But I would want it to feel a little bit more the kind of, to have the essence of the channel that maybe signals interspersed with the failings of the wily coyote or something. They sort of not misrepresent what's going on. Let people know that this is just going to be a sort of ongoing disaster. But speaking of which, we've actually got most of the way without there being a horrific disaster. We could do with some more vehicle trains, but let's click those now. But we are there. I think that's a nice sort of round time for an episode as more Cortinas get trundled off into the 80s. This is the world in which the Cortina remained popular much later. The Ford couldn't even introduce the Sierra, or of course they could be the Hyundai, which was based on the Ford Cortina, the Hyundai Stella, which used a lot of Cortina parts, for people who really needed their Cortina fix in the mid 80s. But I think without getting into another one of the long distractions, which as I've stated is what I actually want to do. Let's leave that there, and we can come back for a future episode of more fixing vehicle parts and vehicles. Until then, I shall see you next time.